Tall? Do you mind explaining why you're doing leg swings, madam?
Best way to explain it? Triceps workout. It's like giving your legs more power.
I see.
Why are you looking at me like that? You're not going to touch my tailbone again. Last time it was unintentional like you said. Not worthy of you to do that to me. You were saying? No. Don't you dare say that profanity stuff out in public. I should have told you that I read the future. Happened after the electric shock, which is the accidental one.
Okay, first of all, if you could read the future, then you wouldn't have gotten that surprise shock from earlier today, now would you? Second, how do I know you aren't reading my mind and just knowing what I want to say just to make me think what you're saying is accurate?
Watch out.
Tall, you okay? Oh, thank God, you're alive. I thought I'd lose you today, Tall. But this is all my fault, I let my guard down.
Oh, so? What's wrong? Are you all right?
Knights? What are you doing here?
What did you mean just now when you thought you'd lose Tall?
Well, Tall is an important girl to me. She's one of the only friends I have. And I failed in protecting her today.
Did someone shoot Tall?
Yeah. Someone shot her. But look at this. I think this is what tracked her. It's definitely how the shooters located her in the first place.
Do you think the person who shot Tall was like a spy of some kind?
Yeah. I'm starting to think that. But why would a spy shoot her with a tracking device? Do you think the shooter was trying to capture her?
I mean, if the shooter only wanted to track her, then why that bullet? Why not just a tracking device? But I don't see how they could benefit by capturing her. Maybe it's not a spy. Maybe it's something bigger. Maybe they're trying to steal something from Tall. If the shooter only wanted to track her, then why that bullet? Why not just a tracking device? But I don't see how they could benefit by capturing her. Maybe it's not a spy. Maybe it's something bigger. Maybe they're trying to steal something from Tall.
But what could Tall possibly have that somebody would want to steal? It couldn't be, no way in hell.
What is it? What could Tall possibly have that someone would want to steal?
Knights. I think I know what's going on.
What is it? What do you think is going on?
Knights, promise me you won't be mad, okay?
I promise. Just, please tell me. Whatever it is, I promise I won't be mad. Even if it's a little scary.
Okay, I think I know what happened to Tall, and I'm going to have to be honest. It's pretty scary and I don't think you're going to like what I am about to say.
Oh, so, whatever it is that you have to tell me, I can handle it. I promise. You can tell me anything.
Knights, do you know about human trafficking?
Human trafficking? You don't think that's what this is about, do you?
Unfortunately, I do. It's the only thing that makes sense at the moment. The bullet with the tracking device on it, someone would want to track Tall and shoot her with the bullet to capture her. I mean, think about it, the only reason anyone would do all this is if Tall had something they wanted. And that something has to be of some sort of high value. And the only thing I can think of that fits that criteria is...
You don't mean they want to take Tall away to sell her?
I'm sorry for telling you about this. I know you didn't want to hear something scary, but I'm afraid that this is the most plausible explanation. This is the reason why they shot Tall and tried to capture her, I'm sure of it.
This is terrifying. This can't be actually happening. But, why? Why would Tall be a target at all? What does she have that anyone would want?
I don't know. Why Tall of all people? Is Tall secretly rich? Is Tall secretly famous? Is Tall secretly a superhuman? It just doesn't make sense that Tall would be a target. Knights. Tall has been acting strange lately, hasn't she?
Come to think of it, yeah, she has been a bit off lately. But she never went into too much detail about it. I honestly assumed she was just going through something personal and didn't want to really talk about it, so I never pressed.
Maybe that's it. Maybe she did want to keep it private and didn't want to tell anyone. But now, someone caught wind of it and now they're targeting her. If you don't mind me asking, when did she start acting strange? What was the first thing she started doing differently?
I'd say about 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe. I'm not too sure. It was kind of gradual. She just kind of got more silent, more distant, more moody, I guess. I honestly expected her to tell me she was going through something, but she just never said anything, no matter how many times I offered to listen. She just kept telling me that she was fine.
You said Tal has been more silent, moody and distant, right?
Yeah. That's right.
When Tal was acting strange, did she have any bruises or cuts anywhere on her body that you know of?
Yes, actually, she did. She had a bruise on her thigh and a couple of small cuts. Why?
Knights, would it be possible for those bruises and cuts to be self-inflicted?
Self-inflicting? Are you suggesting that Tal did those to herself?
Knights, I think that may be the case. The bruises and cuts were all fresh, right?
Yes. They were all fresh. But, are you certain that she was the one doing it to herself? I mean, there's a chance someone else could have been hurting Tal, isn't there?
I don't want you to take this wrong, but all the evidence points toward Tal being the one inflicting cuts and bruises on herself. And there's one piece of evidence that makes this fact even more troubling, Knights. There was another piece of evidence I wanted to mention. And this one may cause a lot of pain. I don't even want to say the next part out loud, but I know that I have to. If Tal wasn't inflicting those bruises and cuts on herself, who or what might have caused them? Knights, I've noticed you are avoiding giving me a straight answer to my question. It is starting to make me worried. Where did those bruises and cuts come from?
The bruises, the cuts. Those were from something else. Not Tal. It was from DeviantArt.
DeviantArt caused those bruises and cuts on Tal?
DeviantArt did it. It was on all them. There's no one else besides those monsters.
And why? Why did DeviantArt decide to attack Tal? Do they know that Tal was someone special?
I think I know their reason now. They mistook Tal for an internet troll and the thief after Tal shelter Therapy made her first account.
An internet troll? A thief? But those are just accusations, right? Or are they? Knights, is that their reason, or is there something else going on here?
There has to be something else, but what? Why would DeviantArt put Tal through something as violent or horrific as that just because of it alone? That wouldn't make any sense. There has to be something more that I'm missing.
Why would they do all this just for a few controversial opinions? There's got to be something else to this, something we are missing.
It seems like many people are finally standing up to DeviantArt for their wrongdoings.
Those protests are definitely good news. But there's still something else that we aren't seeing here. I wonder what exactly the other piece of the puzzle is.
The protests are great and all, but I agree. There's something else that we aren't seeing. What is the missing piece of the puzzle?
Knights, how much do you know about DeviantArt? I'm talking about its true origins.
I don't know much about the true origins. I know that it's a website that many people use to share their artwork, but I'm not familiar with the full history.
Okay, let me explain. Do you know anything about the creators of DeviantArt? Who started the website?
Not really. I've heard some talk about the creators here and there, but I don't know enough to give any concrete answers.
Do you want me to explain some of the origins of DeviantArt? I know the full history of the website, but I'm not sure if it would be too difficult of a pill to swallow.
Yeah. Go ahead and explain it to me, please. I need to know everything. It's the only way this all makes sense.
Okay. So, in late 2002, a group of anonymous artists set up a website to share their artwork. They wanted to have a place where they could have control over their creations without worrying about copyright or plagiarism issues. However, the website soon became a place where creators could receive criticism for their work, something that many of them weren't exactly used to. You're starting to get the gist of what went down. What started out as a place for creators to express themselves, soon became a breeding ground for toxic behavior. Criticism soon became harassment and hate comments, and a website meant to be a refuge from plagiarism and copyrights became a cesspit of negativity and toxicity. The website had no proper moderation to prevent this from happening. Anyone could join DeviantArt, regardless of if they were respectful or not. As a result, the site's user base became flooded with people who didn't care about respecting people's boundaries, and they used the website simply as a place to harass and berate others for their work. The website only got worse as time went on. New users began flooding into the website, people who had no respect for boundaries or were too young to understand what they were even doing wrong. The website began to get flooded with spam, harassment, and bigotry, which created further hostility and conflict among the user base. By the mid-10s, the website became a complete cesspit of hate, bigotry, and toxicity. Anyone could join, and people could do whatever they wanted with total anonymity. Harassment and bullying ran rampant with no proper consequences, and bigotry became more frequent than ever. The website had become so toxic that even the creators were turning against each other. It was a free-for-all of negativity. No one was safe.
It seems like the website became a full-on battlefield of hate, bigotry, and toxicity. Everyone was at war with everyone, no one was safe from harassment or bullying, and bigotry was the norm. Creators were turning against each other, with no one willing to stand up for what was right. It was a free-for-all, a place where no one could escape the wrath of the internet. Everyone was just trying to fight for their right not to get cancelled, for their right to speak freely, even if what they spoke was full of hatred.
The website only got worse and worse as the years went by. Creators would constantly lash out at other creators, harassing and bullying without any hesitation. The website became so toxic that many creators ended up deleting their accounts, and many others simply fell into a pit of stress and anxiety due to how toxic the website became. The website became a living nightmare for anyone that joined. That might be the reason why that someone may have shot Tull in the first place.
Also, if you're right about this, then it's even more frightening that they would take out their anger by hurting Tull like that. They didn't deserve to go through that.
I am, more than anyone could ever imagine. DeviantArt put my friend through hell, and for what? Just because she stood up for what she believed in? Just because she didn't fit into their expectations for what people are allowed to have as opinions? I won't stand for this. They will pay for what they have done. No one deserves to go through this.
You're right, also. What happened to Tull wasn't okay in the slightest. They can't just get away with this.